Childress, and this is the food fight team we have this year. In the food fight, they have several different categories, and there's cupcake wars, no-bake snacks, veggie head sculpting, and edible fruit arrangements, and that is what they are doing. And the fruit arrangements have to be all fruit, and the only thing they cannot do there is wash the fruit. They have to do everything else there. And they just bring a box full of supplies that they need, and they bring their fruit, and then they assemble it there and give a presentation, which they will be doing now. And they have 30 minutes at the fair to cut and assemble and review their presentation before they have to go up to be judged and clean up and set up.
How many years did your team win? Cupcake Wars last year and the year before second?
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all been doing pretty good. So they're gonna carry on the legacy?
Food challenge for going for 5 years.
Have you done a watermelon?
Well, I am. So I'll say
It's gonna look like
I'll
a
be
grill.
5 years.
A grill.
Are we allowed to ask questions during
No, they can only talk to each other, very quietly while they're preparing, and then there's actually a card on the table, and when they're done, it's red on one side and green on the other. When they're done, they flip it to red, and once that happens, they have to turn their backs to the table, and all they can do is like review their notes. And they can't talk anymore.
you call it food fight?
Food fight, yes.
Your quiet food fight.
Food fight at the fair, yes, is what it's called.
Whenever I first heard about it, I thought it was an actual food fight.
So do they throw it at each other?
No,
Unfortunately.
Last year they made cupcakes and we had the Candy Crush design. And they had the, I don't know, I can't remember what all we did with it.
The display board?
The display board was a Candy Crush. One corner was like a volcano, like in the Candy Crush. I don't know if y'all played the Candy Crush. You know, it had the different stages. And then they had to decorate the cupcakes. And then this year they're gonna do fruit.
Do you typically do something, a different category each year, or it's just like the whatever?
It's just
well, they thought since they had won the Cupcake Wars last year that they would change
They
categories.
can move on.
Yeah.
Take on another challenge.
That's why I've always been stuck doing the same thing. I never won.
Aaron, text us text.
I didn't know you could move on to a different category after you went.
Oh, they didn't have to, they just,
No, I was there joking.
and normally they would be wearing gloves and practicing all their food safety skills, but since this is not going to be eaten, they just decided to.
Wait, we don't get to eat
It's not
this?
gonna be easy.
They did all wash their hands, so. This is really good practice for them because there will be even more people watching probably. I think they had about 20 to 25 teams doing different things, and there's people all around watching all of these tables prepare their deals, so.
And normally they would have to be cutting.
Yes, they would have 30 minutes to get it all cut and put together and cleaned up.
And get the meat out of the watermelon.
Yeah, scoop out the watermelons.
So do they get to pick the arrangement they wanna do?
Yes, yes, they do.
And and obviously, I assume this is the arrangement they'll do at the competition? They're
Yes.
practicing it here.
Yes.
One other contest they do is called Food Challenge, and they won't know until they get there what category they will be doing. Would it be fruits? Will it be cereals or what? But this is kind of our kickoff event because kids really like this. And they get to show off their creativity a lot. And ingenuity.
Is there a certain amount of money that you, I mean, so can you spend all you want on the actual food?
Yes,
There's not a,
and the girls, they did very well, I think, picking things, because the original picture that they had showed different, fruit, and it actually had some vegetables in it too, so they had to think of something, because there can't be any vegetables, has to all be fruit. And then they kinda tried to pick, seasonal fruit too, so that it wouldn't be so hard on, budgets, trying to, so that they could practice and not break the bank practicing.
See, on the legs it shows celery, and since we couldn't use celery, they've done something else.
you would think.
You got fruit on these, here's, yeah, fruit.